Hello again. So, one of the last books that I read was The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, one of my favorites. One of my favorite things about the illustrations in this book is all of the beautiful truffula trees. So today we are going to make our own landscape and we're going to include the truffula trees. So we're going to make our own beautiful hills with these big, beautiful colors, and it's going to be really fun. All right, here we go. Now, for this project, you're going to need a couple different colors and construction paper. I'm going to use a light green, a dark green, a light blue, a small piece of orange, a small piece of yellow, and a small piece of pink. If you don't have these colors, that's totally okay, and you can always color with crayon instead of cutting out the shapes. Next, make sure you have a pair of scissors. You're going to need a permanent marker or a black marker to use at the end, a pencil. You're also going to need several popsicle sticks, a glue stick, and some crayons. So, now that we have all our supplies, let's get started. So I'm going to use this light blue for my background color, and then I'm going to get my two different shades of green paper out. So on my light green, you can see I just drew this kind of wiggly line, and that's going to turn into one set of our big hills. So here it is right here. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can draw your hills at whatever shape you want. Once you have your shape drawn, then it's time to cut it out. So, ta-da, here's our first set of hills. Next, we're going to get our darker green piece of paper, and we're going to do the same thing. I've already drawn out another swoopy line to show us our next set of hills. These ones are going to be off in the background, so they're going to need to be a little bit bigger than the other ones you drew. Sometimes it helps if you take your other hills and kind of position it. Oops, I want it to go this way. And kind of position it like that, just so you can sort of see where your other hills are going to line up, and maybe trim them so it fits better, but that's up to you. So now we are going to cut out our second set of hills. And there you have it, another set of hills. Now you're going to need to get that blue paper back, because that's going to be our background. And we are going to take our dark green hills and our glue stick, and we're going to glue the back and stick it right along so the edges match. Now when I glued my hills down, I made sure to leave a little bit of space at the top so it wasn't glued down all the way, and you'll see why this is later. But for now, go ahead and grab your second set of hills in the light green, and we're going to glue them down right on top so everything lines up. So, once you have these glued down, you're going to need to collect your popsicle sticks. Now, you might need an adult to help you with this part, but we're going to start to glue them down, and these are going to become the trunks for our truffula trees. Now, the reason I told you not to put too much glue towards the top of your hills is so you can fold the hill back and slide the popsicle stick, and then you can glue everything down as you go. Now, these trees right here are the reason you might need an adult. If your popsicle stick is too long, you can always, like these ones in the back, I broke, they end right here, and that's so they can be a little shorter in the background. Now these ones are stumps that have been cut down, and those are also pieces of broken popsicle stick. So have an adult help you break your popsicle sticks to finish making some of your little trees. And I just glued them in wherever I thought they looked nice. So next you're going to need your different colored paper. I have pink, yellow, and orange here. And I'm going to fold them so they all are fitted inside each other. And that way I can get more than one tuft for the top of the truffula tree. So you see I've got my yellow, my orange, and my pink all folded together. So I'm just going to crease that right there. And I already drawn 2 different kinds of truffula tufts. And if you look, they're kind of just circles that have these little spikes. And you just kind of go around and you give them little swoopy arches. Or if it's easier to just do a couple. So this one I did like 4, or I did 5 or 6, and then I drew in these background ones. Sometimes that can help too. Or if you're really stuck, you can always go back to the book and use the illustrations to help you. But if you look, they're all different shapes. So no matter what shape you come up with, it'll look awesome. So now that we have our shapes drawn out, we're going to use our scissors very carefully and cut them out. So when you have them all cut out, they should look a little something like this. And then you're going to take the rest of your project and start gluing them on. You also have the option of drawing in a tree. So I just did a really quick little zigzaggy sketch, and that's where I chose to draw in my one tree. Now I'm going to start to take my cutouts and I'm going to start to glue them. I personally like the way the cutouts look more, but they look really good when you just take different shapes and you fit them where, oh, well, that one's going to be broken, so it doesn't need one. But so I'll give you guys a second right now to glue these all down in place. So now that we have all our trees glued down, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get either a brown or a black crayon, and we're going to draw in these little like bark lines on all the trees. Because if you look, they have this little striped pattern of almost zigzags going all the way up, and that's what we're going to do along our trunks. So I used a little bit of both the brown and the black and just did little zigzag scribbles all over all of our trees. And now I'm going to use the green and just add a couple little grassy zigzags around our tree stumps, just to make everything pop a little bit more. So there we go. And there you go. When you're all done, you should have your own little truffula forest. And I hope you guys take better care of it than they did in the story. And I hope you keep these trees that are still up nice and safe. I hope you had a good time. And I hope you enjoyed the read aloud of the Lorax and the art project. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and these videos. Thank you.